Hey there. So this next video is again should be a pretty quick one. We're going to focus on how to make our renderings. First thing I need you to do is plan ahead a little bit. I need you to download a few silhouettes and have a background painting that you want to use. I just pulled this one. Please use, it doesn't have to be a painting, but it could be digital art, but I don't want any real photos for this because we're making very abstracted renderings, so photorealistic is not the approach that we're going for. So just look up, I did a Monet painting, but you could just do landscape painting, or landscape, you know, I just said painting, but you can look up anything. Um, and so you can find all sorts of things by the ocean, mountains, snowscapes, anything. Um, be a favorite artist of yours, those types of things. As long as it speaks to your narrative and where they belong, what they're doing, uh, pay very close attention to that, because you might be asked about it. Okay. So for the scale figures, I want you to click this link right here on the Miro board, and that's going to take you to this fantastic website called Non-Scandinavia, and they have a whole bunch of free images for you to download as students. So I downloaded this one. Um, you really can download anything. Just try to pick scale figures that relate to your space. I, yeah, sorry. Yeah, definitely grab a few of these. Uh, Probably need at least 5 different silhouettes for this project. This way you can have, a few in each view. Like this one down here uses 5 silhouettes. So please don't be afraid to use that. All right. So once you download your artwork and you download your silhouettes, then we're ready to start designing. So open your Rhino file and you can work in the same previous file that we just did, the exploded plan. And first things first, please make sure that it is a Boolean union object. All right. So once we have our Boolean union object, I'm actually going to hide this because I don't want it to show up in the background rendering. So HIDE for hide. If I need to show it again, I just type in show, but select last. Uh, no, that's not what I wanted, but select this object and hide. Great. So now I need to pick some views. So I think that really strong views are ones that have framed views, openings to the outside, uh, terraces, things that we can propagate. That's fun to me. Now everyone's project is different, so everyone can have absolutely unique views. But I just want to go through some basic steps of getting that done. So this right here can be one view. Try to cut off the floor because we don't actually have like a decent floor. If you want to Photoshop one, you are more than welcome to do so, but it can't be a floating building with people on it, okay? So you can do one from the outside corner, or you can start going inside the building and making renderings. So when we start going in, you'll notice that it's really hard to navigate. Like you'll end up crashing into walls and getting stuck, and it's a little tedious. A easy way to get through that is by going to your viewport settings and changing, let me move this little thing, changing your lens. For some reason, this is locked, but the goal is to change our lens. All right, we'll do that after. Sorry, that's a little bit of a hiccup. Let's just do named views first. Make a new view. Rendering '01. It could be that it just wasn't letting me change one of the regular presets. So I jumped the gun a little bit, but now that I'm in rendering '01, my own named view, now I should be able to go and change the viewport settings. Yes, all right, that did the trick. See, quick little workaround. So I'm just changing my angle from 50 to 15. This is the same, this is similar to when on our phones, we like to go instead of the 1x zoom, you go to the 0.5 zoom or, just so you can see a wider angle. So again, I'm gonna just change that up a little bit. So now that it's a 15-degree angle, you can see a lot more inside the space. So I actually love this view. So I'm 100% going to export this one. The only thing I want to make sure I do is hide these other objects. So since I'm hiding a lot more than I anticipated, I'm going to save as again and just call this file renderings, just in case. I don't want to risk losing anything. All right, so now that my view is here, and I know where my named views live, I can just press plus on that little camera, and I will call it rendering 02. All right, so now I have two views already saved. We only need three, but I recommend taking a few more than just three so you can, see what you like most. All right, so I'm trying to be a little dynamic here, show turning the corner, show the balcony, and all the different changes in elevation. But of course, we're inspired by the grid. I'm pretty content with this view. And you'll notice that I'm trying to envision myself walking, so think of eye level on the ground plane that I'm at. So I shouldn't be looking up like a bird's eye. This is this would be great, as I have here. All right. So I get a little bit more there. Good. And this is going to be rendering 03. Now, if you wanted a little bit more outside, that's fine too. You just put yourself outside, stand, let me hide all of these objects, and I'll just keep it like this and add rendering 04. Okay, so now that I have these renderings, I would like to change it to my Arctic layout. And it's actually kind of hard to see. So see how rendering looks. All right, rendering's not bad. So if Arctic isn't loading very well for you, no, in my tutorial in class, it actually came out rather well, so I was pleased with that, but sometimes it doesn't work. That's fine, just change it to rendered. Okay, so now just like the previous steps, we're just going to do our traditional view capture to file. We do want a transparent black background. This way we can load our landscape behind there. And instead of viewport, I'm going to make it custom, change it to inches because I know that I'm working on an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. My DPI, at least 150. If you want a much higher quality image, go for 300. Size 17 by 11. All right, and just press OK. And then label it inside your designated folder. All right, so every time we go to one of these views, just keep in mind that whatever you pick, if you pick Arctic in one, keep Arctic for all of the renderings. If you pick rendering setting in one, just keep it for all. All right, so view, capture to file. Again, same settings, just press OK. And I'm just gonna name it similar to my previous named file. Yeah, I think this model that I did is way more interesting than the one that I was working on in class. So that's always fun. Capture to file. And this view is no good, so I think I'm just gonna not use this one. All right, so now that I have my views, I just want to make sure that I download my people. So from non-Scandinavia, maybe this time I grab this person sitting. File save as. All right, so I'm just saving these file names, and now what I need to do is open Photoshop. All right, so once in Photoshop, I'm just going to start dragging and dropping these files. I'm going to go new file, inches, yes. The width is going to be 17, the height is 11. All right, create. All right, I can't stand these little things. No, thank you. Hide, I hate these little things too. Hide bar. Okay. Nice, I'm just dropping in my 3 renderings, dropping in my person sitting. All right, and guess I didn't save my people walking. Oh, there it is. All right, so now maybe these people are walking their dog there. And this person, don't forget that you can absolutely lock the layers that you don't want to accidentally work on. I don't want to lock my scale figures right now. I'm just locking the renderings. All right, much easier to grab. All right, so I just did Control T to transform. I made sure I was in the right layer. It's very similar to InDesign. All right, so again, make sure you're on the right layer. Control T, scale them up a little bit. Good. All right, so now I need to bring in my painting. So this time I'm just going to download the same one from class. All right, and then I'm going to stretch it to make it work. All right, so it's very similar to like a hand drawing or what we've done in Illustrator. I'm sorry, in InDesign, we're just layering things. So I need to put the background landscape all the way at the bottom. Everything at the top is the scale figures. That's good. And so let me turn off these other background layers that I don't need. And now we see how this is working. Now, if I don't want that image to move anywhere, I'm just gonna go back to person walking dog. And yeah, next step is to just export a copy of this. So save a copy, change it to a JPEG, and then save it in your special folder. All right, it's rendering a one. All right, so once you do that with the three different views, turn on and off the layers. So if now I'm moving on to this view. I know that those scale figures no longer work, and I have to bring in new scale figures and then re-export it. Same with this. Look for scale figures, place them, and then re-export it, file save a copy. All right, so now let me just drop this in here so you can see an alternative way to do this. All right, found the file, and now we just have to wait for it to be shrunk. All right, so now I just have two renderings. I hope you all have all three. At a minimum, you are more than welcome to produce more if you want to produce more. I won't stop you for trying. And yeah, pretty straightforward. Please send me an email if you have any questions.